Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I'm going to go over a story titled, My Wife, a 25-year-old female, Cheated on Me. And a shout out to Chris for sending me this story. And guys, this story is about a guy who is now definitely divorcing his wife, even though it's tearing him apart to do this. And she is begging him to stay and give her another chance after he found out that she was cheating on him with not one, not two, but three dudes. Yeah, and I'm sure there's more. But you're going to see, guys, he's only been married to her for 2 years. He's 24, married for 2 years. Way too young, and not to mention, he's in the military. And you all know darn well, that's a big no-no. Which probably means every time he's deployed, guess what she's doing? Bye! And the ring is off, and she's off to the bar. Yeah. And I thought I'd go over here, guys, to show you that, number one, don't get married super early. Number two, don't get married in the military. Little reminders that we have learned, many of you, over the years. And also, you always have to pay attention. But another thing, as you're going to see, this relationship has just been drama central from the get-go. And this is why it's so important that guys work so hard to build up their confidence, build up who they are, that they don't get involved with women like this. And you're going to be able to tell real quick, this guy, obviously, he's one of these types of guys, unfortunately, even though he's in the military, and obviously he's a tough guy, he's a soldier, inside he's jello because a lot of guys get to the point they need their girl and can't be alone, that type of thing, and that just brings the wrong people in your life. But if you reach a point, guys, that you don't have attachments, they don't need people, you like having people around, but you don't need them, and you have a healthy self-esteem about yourself, you're not going to have bad people come into your life. And if you do, you can quickly get rid of them and not care. So it starts off, says here, this is a long one, so please buckle up. My wife and I have been married for 2 years. Recently, we were laying in bed together, and she got a phone call, and I briefly saw that it was a yellow background with an emoji person before she silenced it and laid it back down. You're laying in bed, and she's getting calls from, gee, I wonder who. I asked her who that was, and she said it was her friend, Abby. But I was confused because I know what Abby's contact photo looks like, and it was not that. But maybe she changed it. No, she didn't. A few days later, I hear the phone vibrate, and it's a message from Abby. However, the contact photo was a simple A and a gray background. Again, I was confused. Well, we're not confused. If this was indeed Abby, then who was that calling before? Could it be another Abby? I doubt it, as she only ever mentions one Abby whenever it's about work or who she's going out with. I'm 47. I've never known anybody named Abby in my entire life, let alone 2 Abbies. I only know about Dear Abby. That's it. So I get suspicious. I start noticing her being a lot more reserved with her phone whenever I'm around, and whenever she shows me something on her phone, I grab it so I can see it better, but she's been pulling away and saying that she's got it. Things make me feel weird and having a gut feeling. Well, one of the classic signs is the guarding the phone like a Jedi guards his lightsaber. I mean, or always running to the bathroom and she's on the phone. I mean, let's be honest, we're all on the phone in the bathroom. Don't deny it, guys. But the point is that she's guarding that thing, has it on lock, always face down so you can't see who's texting or calling, I don't know her password, so I start paying more attention to where her fingers press, and I start to decode it over a few days. Dude, that's impressive. We go on a date and we drink, and she only needs 1 to 2 drinks to get buzzed. So we head home and she crashes on the couch. I see her phone, and I thought about just asking her instead of going through her phone. But I know, being cheated on before... What'd you just say? Being cheated on before? The feeling that this is the same. So I grab her phone, I put the password that I thought it was, and it works. I go to the messages, Mom, Abby, Sisters, Spam, and promotional messages. Nothing out of the ordinary, but then I scroll further. I see a name that has a silenced bell icon. His name is Sean. Here we go. We got a Sean. And we can all wonder who Abby is. But let's go back to what he just said. I've been cheated on before. Cheated on by her before? Or just cheated on in general? Because you've been cheated on before in general by others. That doesn't surprise me. You've attracted another one like this in your life. And if you've been cheated on by her before, why the fuck are you still married to her? Now, a little bit of background on Sean. Oh, you know Sean. While I was deployed, ding, 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 overseas, she told me she ran into one of her old friends at the Whole Foods, and they caught up. And whatever, it was Sean. And during my mid-deployment leave, I saw how they texted and made me uncomfortable. And I asked her if she could stop talking to him, or at least let me meet the guy so I can get a feel for him. Hang on. Smack. You don't ask her to stop texting with another dude. She's a married woman. You're the number one guy in her life. You're more important. You should be more important than her own father or her own brother or brothers. And you don't ask her to stop texting. You say, no, this is not going to happen. You don't see me texting with other women here. That's your problem. That's nice guy shit. She agrees and stops talking to him, and he goes away. No, he hasn't. Until now. Why is she talking to him again? Why is she hiding it? Why didn't she tell me they're communicating again? So I go through the messages, and my heart sank. Well, she's not telling you because obviously she wants to keep talking to him and doing other things with her mouth with him. She's telling him to move to Alaska with her. She says she really wants to move there. Him saying that he misses her and that he really wants to see her again. And she responds back with, I really want to see you too again. I think about you every day. Man, this poor guy. My hands start to shake uncontrollably as I hold her phone in my hands reading those messages. During a rough period in our marriage, where she told me that we're getting a divorce, he asked her if she and I were still together, and she said yes, and he said, I'll be waiting for you. To which she replied, I don't think I'll ever leave you alone. Let's go back to where he said about that we had a rough patch in our marriage, and she said she wanted to get a divorce. They've only been married 2 years, and already they're having rough patches, and her saying she wants to get divorced. My friend didn't exactly do a whole lot of homework on this broad before marrying her. This is my point. I put her phone down as my hand starts to shake too much. I scroll a finger on the phone, and it's on the floor. I see there's a guy who looks like... Another comment says, there's a guy who looks like you at my job, LOL, some days. I'll just look at him and think of you. This is their text exchange. And he says he must be handsome, and she responds with, not as handsome as you. I get really upset because I know if I was ever to call another woman beautiful or pretty or anything like that, she would get livid on me. Of course she would. But you're not doing that. You're not talking to other women because you're a loyal husband. But she's not loyal. She's devious. She's a cheater. She married you because she probably just wanted a ceremony to be the bride, to put on Instagram. And some guy to provide, some sucker. But as I'm shaking, I finally realize Sean's contact photo is just a blank S on the gray background. This couldn't be the person I saw her talking to. So I swipe out and keep scrolling. I see another name that has a silence bell. I immediately click it and it says Tyler. Just a blank T on a gray background. Can't be this guy. I'm curious why he's muted. My heart goes even further. Okay, we got Sean. We got Tyler. Attention and validation. And a lot of dick. That is what this girl needs. In the first message I see, he says, I hope we get to make our dream of going to Alaska true one day. Him saying, I wish we were together so I can make you feel better. And her responding with, I wish you were too. Basically just him saying how much he wants to be with my wife and how beautiful she is, but she just doesn't stop it or anything like that. So she's going to go to Alaska with both Sean and Tyler. She wants to be spit roasted by Sean and Tyler by out looking at fucking reindeer and shit. Really? Well, both these guys are obviously simping for her, but she's loving the attention and validation, and I don't know how far it's gone with these guys, but still. I swipe out and scroll, but I don't see any names with yellow background. I go to edit, and I see there's recently deleted messages. Oh. Open Pandora's box. I click on it, and there's Jaren. What kind of fucking name is Jaren? I know Jared, but not Jaren. Anybody out there named Jaren? Let me know. And no offense, but I never heard the name Jaren before. Jaren with less than a day left on the messages before the auto-delete removes them forever. I recover them and I start reading them and I turn red with anger. A backstory on this Jaren. He was her boss at her last job and she quit because she got S-word assaulted by Jaren. Oh yeah, then why is she texting with him? She told me that he forced his hand down her you-know-where and touched her inappropriately. I was pissed because this was the second time something like this happened at this same type of job. She has a history of saying that, the boss got inappropriate with me, but nothing I did. And yet, no charges were filed. Nobody was sued. No arrests. So she's full of shit. A backstory on Jaren here. I read that part. I was telling her that I would go there and talk to the manager and try to get the footage from the camera, but she told me no, as she didn't want me to do anything stupid and get her and myself in trouble. If that happened to her, if she was being honest about being S-word, you know what, there'd be no her getting in trouble, this guy getting in trouble. In the era of Me Too, police, he'd be fired, he'd be arrested, and she'd have a lawsuit, and they would settle outside of court, and she'd get a big payday. So why is she not doing that? It's not like, if it was 25 years ago, that would be different. But in the era of Me Too, she'd clean up. We all know it. Because she's covering for him. And she's lying. It's a lot, but I'll just get past the messages I saw. So not only was I not told the full story about the S-word assault, she's been staying late and telling me that she's working overtime. Define working overtime with her boss, Jaren. But in reality, she's talking to him in the parking garage for 2 hours after work. Dude, she ain't talking to him in the parking garage. She's sneaking around work to hug him and see him. One day after working till 6 a.m., she told me she was going to go on a sunrise hike with Abby. It turns out in the same day, she went to his house. Yeah, with the same guy who supposedly S-word did bad things to her. Really? Yeah. So she picked him up and went on the hike with both Abby and Jaren, and they were gone for about 4 hours. And I texted her to make sure she was okay, and she told me she didn't have a signal, but because she was with him. Now we're going through his story here, guys, to show you the bullshit that is going on here. But the bottom line is she's a big, giant cheater, and of course, it's over. But my God, the fact how guys get involved with women like this. I immediately got my phone and started taking pictures and videos of the message between Sean, Tyler, and Jaren. Good. Very smart. I didn't want to confront her right then and there because I know I would get flustered and lose my train of thought and things I wanted to bring up. So I spent the next 2 days organizing the entire thing. Okay, man. Get everything together and then strike. Making folders of all three of them and making a note with all the questions for each guy. Or just gather your evidence, talk to your attorney. But you're in the military now. It's not going to be so easy because she's still going to make out like a bandit and divorce the bitch. That night, she gets mad at me for being cold and not initiating and not touching her. Gee, I wonder why you're not wanting to touch her. We get into a fight over it, and I say a perfectly good reason why, and it's 100% your fault. Confused, she doesn't know what I'm talking about. Of course she doesn't know. I sit us down on the couch, and I ask her if there's anything she could think of that she want to sit down and talk to me about, and she said no. I ask her to swear on her mom's life, and she does so. Well, I guess she doesn't love her mom. So I bring up just Sean, and she says it's just a friend, and it's all jokes. And she tells everyone to move to Alaska with her, blah, 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 all lies. Okay, fine, let's just say there's nothing going on. Why the fuck are you talking to all these guys behind my back? You'd freak out if I started talking to some chicks named Jessica, or Melissa, or whatever. But you're talking to all these dudes? Welcome back to that. I ask her if there's anything else that I should know about, and she lies and says no. So I bring up Tyler. And she admits to doing it after her dad passed away because I wasn't there for her in the way she wanted or needed me. Oh, newsflash, guys. We can all tell who this guy is. And believe me, this is the type of guy that would bend over backwards to be there for her if somebody that she loved died. So what a load of crap. Blaming him for her cheating. That he gave her the attention and validation that she needed, and he made her feel heard. Uh-huh. That she shouldn't have done it, but it was just so upset at me, blah, 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 all bullshit. It is all bullshit. So finally I asked her, is there anything else that I should know? And she said, no, that's it. Man, if this is Pinocchio, her nose would be like fucking 9 feet long with birds and shit flocking around it. And I said, if there's anything else I find out you're lying about it or hiding, I'm done. She said, no, that's it. I say, you're willing to lie in your mom's name, and this time I want you to swear to me, and she does. She must really hate her mom. I say to her, you're lying, and I bring up Jaren. Her face goes into her palms. I ask if she cheated on me with him, and she says yes. She kissed him, something I didn't know, but she says it's all because he forced her, because he was her boss, and she really needed the job and the money. Oh, really? Because I have all this proof that you hang out regularly. And why were you suing him? Why were you calling the cops? Why weren't you going to HR? Why weren't you going to your boss? She felt like he was going to hurt her, and she didn't feel comfortable talking about it with me because we were going through a hard time, and she couldn't feel comfortable around me. Going through a hard time, probably a hard time she created through her drama. But I call bullshit. Good for you. I do believe she got S-word, you know what, but there's also a point where you make conscious decisions. Dude, no, she did not. She's full of shit. That's a lie. Because she didn't follow up on all that. Like picking him up from his house. He didn't make you go to his house and take him on a hike. The flirting back and forth, the texting him even after leaving the job, and saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to the man who supposedly S-word assaulted you. But not only that, you lied and hid every single one of them and didn't tell him the truth a single time I asked. Brother, it's over. I know I should leave, but I do love my wife, and it's very hard to imagine my life without her. Smack! Are you a fucking idiot? You know what you have to do, and I know you know that, but your emotions are all over the place. The problem is you see her as the girl who you think she is. The sweet girl that you went out on that first date with, and you had a drink and walked around, looked at the ducks in the fucking pond or whatever you did on your first date or second date, and all these things, and how she can sweet talk you. She's a piece of shit. Come on, bro. You're a soldier. You've been trained to do some pretty badass things. Now let's become more badass on the inside and get rid of this hoe. I don't even know the first step of leaving. Talk to a lawyer. We've been together and things are okay now. No, they're not okay now. But it's always in the back of my mind and I can't get it out. I don't know if I can ever trust her again. You won't. What happens when we go through another rough patch? You will go through another rough patch. How will I know you're actually telling me the truth? Things go good and I think about forgiving her, but then the thoughts and questions and remembering what happened makes me upset and I don't want to stay. Then don't stay. She keeps being so sweet and doing all these nice things for me, constantly having you know what, but I know in my mind I don't feel the same way. It's hard to kiss her and be all sweet. I don't know if I will stay or leave. Bro, we know you're going to leave, and so don't waste your time. I'm going to break this down to you. She cheats on you, aside from the fact because she's a piece of shit on so many levels, because her perception of you, and it's pretty darn accurate based on your behavior, is that you're weak. You're a pushover. You're not a man. And women do not respect or like or be attracted to weakness. And this is why multiple guys. Plus, she's someone that she needs constant attention and validation from. Okay? She married you knowing full well that you're going to be deployed during different periods of time. And she should have known that and accepted it, being alone. She doesn't care. You said yourself when you were deployed, she was talking to the other guy. Do you really think they were just having conversations about the weather in Alaska? And by the way, the whole Alaska thing's going to live with them in Alaska? Really? Now, I'm sure we could all hope that she gets on a plane and goes to Alaska, goes on a hike and gets mauled by a grizzly bear. That'd be pretty fucking funny. At least for me. But that's not going to happen. You need to get rid of her. She's not loving, she's not loyal, she's not wife material. You're 24 years old, you got your whole life ahead of you, okay? Take the hit. You only married a couple of years, take the hit, you'll survive, and don't ever get married again. And you need to work on yourself to saying is, why is it that I married a girl like this? Why is it that I have to feel like I have to be with someone to feel whole and fulfilled? What the fuck is wrong with being alone? I'm willing to bet you this guy came from probably not the best family, not a lot of love, and he was hoping he could probably make up for what was lost during childhood by getting married early, but he probably also wanted to get out of the freaking barracks and get a good housing allowance in the military. That's why he got married. But the point is, he did this, I'm guessing, because he was making up for something that was lacking in his life when he was young. It's amazing what childhood shit comes into adult issues here. And it was a mistake because he rushed it. How did he rush it? Because he was 22 when he got married. Could have known her that long. So, bro, end it. Move on, okay? Take it one day at a time. I'm sure you got people out there that care about you, and they can help you get through this. And for all is sacred and holy, don't get married again when you're in the military. And take your time to really get to know these girls. And you would have written this if you didn't want to end this with her, but you just don't know what to do. I understand that. I understand it's a roller coaster of emotions. You stay with her, she's going to think, holy shit, this guy had all the proof that I was cheating on him, and he still stayed with me. What a weak pussy. And she'll keep doing what she's been doing. So if you wanted to keep suffering, well, at this point, it's on you. But I hope you learn. So, guys, there you go. And I'm going to keep a close eye on this to see what happens here. Now, the comment section is full of people saying, kick her to the curb. But he's young and dumb, but hopefully some good sense will come to him. So I'm going to continue on and see if there's any updates to this and hopefully make the right decision. And if you see any updates before I do, let me know. Got a lot of good stories lately, looking for updates, and you guys definitely, I count on you for letting me know about that. But in a situation like this, guys, you can't be with someone like this. You got to end a freaking story, and you all know it for that. Those that watch this regularly. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.